Welcome back to LA Fishguys, the Kids in a Coral Candy Store episode, part 2. We've stopped off at Vivid Aquarium in Canoga Park. We've brought our Wyoming customers here, and this is the first time I've been in this shop, and I must say, I'm impressed. Check out the 14-foot long reef tank, and she's a beauty. This has to be one of the nicest reef tanks I've seen in many, many years. You can see the large variety of SPS stony type corals, as well as the giant clam and a few soft corals in this tank. There's also quite a wide variety of fishes in the tank. These Bartlett anthias, the orange and purple ones you see in the back, as well as the Soho tang, the flamingi tang, and yes, that was a blue-jawed triggerfish that just swam by a moment ago. There's a regal tang, and you saw the powder blue as well. And once again, this tank contains some very exotic SPS-type encrusting corals. Check out this one, green with pink spots. And as with any reef tank, there's a lot of light. This tank has 6,000 watts of metal halide on top of it. You can see the number of fans there to help move air and heat away from the top of the aquarium. And in addition to an awesome display tank, they've got a very full line of coral fragments available for the pickings. Doesn't this look like candy in an aquarium? There's also an area that contains the various fishes that would be used in these style aquariums.
What do you think, Mike?
I love it. It's interesting how the shift and mix has gone so quickly from fish and vertebrates.
What Mike's referring to is the appeal of all the various corals available to put into his reef tank as opposed to the fishes. Now over here, MJ and the owner of Vivid Aquarium are having a conversation about water flow.
Yeah, maybe we should put some holes in them.
And before we move on, one last lengthy look at the most awesome reef tank I've seen in years. Thanks, Vivid Aquarium.
Simple. Don't have to do 10 different things. Like whatever system you have needs to have.
Do you see how beneficial this coral tour has been? Mike from Wyoming's already getting an opinion, and he's willing to offer it to MJ.
You make it your system.
Yeah.
So we're gonna jump back into the van, and that'll end the coral candy tour for the day. But tomorrow morning, we're gonna get up early, drive on out to Rancho Cucamonga to the Ontario Hilton Hotel, where I'm going to be exhibiting the Jelly Aquarium, but we're gonna be at the Southwest Coral Farmers Market. This is from the godfather of SPS Corals, Steve Tyree, and this is probably one of the premier locations where all the home and aquaculturists who are producing frags can show their wares and sell their products to eager reef tank hobbyists. Check out the volume of people and vendors here. And as I mentioned, I'm here displaying the Jelly Aquarium. The little mini Jelly Aquarium with its color-changing lights is quite the attraction. But look at my little protege from Wyoming. He's asking all the right questions.
How fast can you expect the giant clams to grow? I mean, is that 1-year-olds?
Now let me take just a moment here and elaborate a little bit further on what I had alluded to in the first part of this episode. That being that the fragmented coral business could potentially become illegal. According to Coral Magazine, a move to place more than 80 species of stony corals on the endangered species list has been filed with the U.S. federal government. A petition from an Arizona-based environmental group called for the protection of 8 Caribbean and Western Atlantic species, 9 corals in the Hawaiian Islands, and 66 species from the Indo-Pacific. If listed, these corals would be banned from the collection in U.S. waters, banned from import in the United States, interstate shipment would become illegal, the captive propagation would require a federal permit, and corals could only be bought and sold within states. According to Marshall Meyer in Coral Magazine, this would end the international trade in stony corals to the United States. So what can you do about this? My first suggestion would be to get a hold of a current issue of Coral Magazine and find the article that makes reference to this. They have suggestions there. My second suggestion would be to make contact with your local representative, or better yet, senator, and make them aware of your point of view in regards to the coral trade.
That's very affordable.
Cool stuff here.
Very affordable.
And so after a weekend of coral frag farms, retail stores with a fantastic selection of fish and corals, and a farmer's market of coral frags, our Wyoming customers go home with a greater sense of what's available for their tank. We wish them well, and as always, keep moving forward.